You sat there and listened to the entire T.O. interview on Undisputed. He wore that gold jacket that he embroidered himself. He took some shots at Chris Carter. What's your takeaway?
Yeah, I watched enough of it, and I think what I got from it was, and I saw him when he walked off. Good to see him. But I think that the real thing for me is I would disappear from talking about what I've done. His numbers, and I've said this too many times, his numbers speak for themselves, right? You get into the Hall of Fame by what you did on the field, right? And that's the bottom line. And that's where he should carry it. Like, don't bring no more attention, right? Because, listen, whatever everybody wants to keep saying, let them keep saying it. It's irrelevant at the end of the day, because the people you're trying to impress now are the people that's behind those doors, right? And so the first thing they want to see is, because everything is a brand. It's all about branding, right?
Right.
It's all about, you said something that your father taught you, something that I think is very valuable, right? It's one thing about being in a room and listening to somebody talk about you, and then being out of a room and listening to somebody talk about you.
Hall of Fame's all about you not being in the room.
The Hall of Fame is all about you not being in that room.
I thought this morning, Ray, I thought the jacket he wore hurt him.
Yeah, well, because that can be looked at as a very, very bad thing.
Mocking.
Yeah. It's like a knockoff of what the real thing is.
You're making fun of their jacket.
Yeah. And I think, that can be looked at differently, So look, man, T.O., take what you've done, which nobody can ever take away. You've done that. But now just mature a little bit to not let people keep pushing your buttons and pushing your buttons.
And it does. I think it makes him look, listen, he looks really insecure doing this. Mm-hmm. It's like no matter how great an actor is, Leonardo DiCaprio isn't mocking the Oscars, even though he made 9 great movies. He never won an Oscar. I mean, Leonardo DiCaprio made 9 great movies.
Right.
Didn't get, until recently, didn't get an Oscar. Yeah. He didn't mock the process. Yeah. Why is the Hall of Fame so important to players?
Oh man, it's so there's these you win awards all the way up. You win awards from high school, you win awards from college. You fight for the championships and you do all these things, and then in college you can be elected into your college Hall of Fame. But the Hall of Fame, the NFL Hall of Fame, it's something that nobody will ever understand except the people that's on that stage. I sat with Kevin Garnett the other night on his show, and it was something that we talked about, that people don't understand. You got to be a little bit crazy to do and sacrifice what Hall of Famers sacrifice.
You have to give up social relationships.
Your life.
To be Kobe, you can't be normal.
It's factual. There's nothing you can do about it, because it burns so much inside, and it's something that I always try to teach young kids. I try to teach my sons. I can't give it to you.
Right.
I can talk about it all day, baby, but you got to want to be great.
You want to hear a funny story? I was talking to somebody the other day about Wayne Gretzky, the best hockey player of all time. You ever met Wayne Gretzky?
No.
Really. I
have a jersey though, but yeah.
Yeah, really funny guy, great guy. And somebody went up, I met this guy, and he goes, I was in a room with Wayne Gretzky. And somebody came up to Wayne Gretzky and says, how can I get my kid to want it? And Wayne Gretzky turned and said, you can't. He goes, you couldn't keep me off the ice at 9 years old. Right. My parents had to literally at 9 at night, where's our son? He goes, if your kids don't want it, they'll never be great. Yeah. And all these little league coaches, you care about it more than your son. Yeah. You know at 8 years old if that's the case.
You know it, Colin, because you take the risk of getting beatings to stay outside for that one more battle. Yeah, and because it's the one thing, right? And then when you think about what happens when you do finally hear it for the first time. So I'm playing and I'm in my 9th, 10th year, and you hear somebody say, and for sure lock, first ballot Hall of Famer. You're saying, wait a minute. That means I'm with Willie Lanier. I'm with Dick Buckers.
All your idols.
All my idols.